And it doesn't look sort of unexpected, except that it was made in 1970. In effect, he was kind of planning the tuxedo suit and this idea of androgyny kind of earlier. And I mean, that's radical at that moment.
And on a personal level, I mean, just comparing it to the Alexander McQueen show, which has just finished at the V&A, and you've got a sense there of the turbulent spirit of the creator. Yves Saint Laurent himself was troubled in many ways, but this exhibition doesn't look at the personal because it's very much about just the dress.
It doesn't, but there is darkness there. They've done, in the entrance, they have these sways of tulle, a dark black tulle just draped from the rafters. So there's something kind of mournful about it, and it is ghostly. I mean, these are designers who are in living memory still, and what we're seeing is a collection being assembled, an archive for the future, and it's extraordinary.
Thanks very much to Shade about the Yves Saint Laurent exhibition. Style is Eternal runs at the Bowes Museum in Barnard Castle in County Durham until October the 25th. Road, don't forget. You can listen to all recent programmes and interviews and download the podcast via the Radio iPlayer app. Just search for follow us on Twitter at Music. This Sunday sees the premiere of an event for classical music, theatre, but the internet, the online orchestra of the chance. Amateur musicians and children who live hundreds of miles apart to make music together. However, the location is run by Falmouth University in Cornwall, and funding is from the Advanced Humanities Research Council. We listened in to a rehearsal.
My name is Michael Rofe. I'm Senior Lecturer in Music at Falmouth University, and I'm Coordinator of the Online Orchestra Project. The idea behind the Online Orchestra is the fact that music is at heart a community activity. People make music together. If you live in geographically remote locations, such as the Isles of Scilly, options are much more limited in terms of who you can play with. And it was out of that idea that the Online Orchestra concept was born. There are 4 locations involved in the Online Orchestra project. The conductor is based at Falmouth University. There's then string orchestra and a choir and a number of soloists at Truro Cathedral. We've then got a brass band playing in Mullion, and we've got a flute choir playing on the Isles of Scilly.
I'm Deborah Wainwright. I'm Head of Music at the Five Islands School on St Mary's, Isles of Scilly. First of all, it gives them the chance to play an orchestra, which we can't do. We have a wind band, but we don't have an orchestra. It gives them the chance to see and hear the other instruments in the orchestra that they don't. It gives them the chance to play with other musicians. We're a very close-knit group over here, and you tend to find the same children popping up in all the ensembles. We have just under 60 children learning a musical instrument, and when you bear in mind that the school is just over 200 pupils and we're spread over 5 different islands, it's quite a good percentage. So yeah, music is active, it's alive. It's different to learning on the mainland in that we can only work with what we have here. So we can only work with instrumental staff who are here on the islands because it's too expensive to fly anybody in. We have a woodwind teacher who works at the school, and flute is her main instrument, but she also teaches clarinet and saxophone. They're the 3 instruments that we offer in school. So we're limited in one sense, but music has always traditionally been a very strong subject in Scilly. It's part of our culture.
I'm Lovely and I play the flute.
And Sophie, I also play the flute.
I'm on St Agnes and Sophie's on St Martin. Sometimes you get some incredible opportunities like this, but it can be a bit remote, like with no one else of your standard to play with.
I think it's a really good idea because, especially living here, it would be something that could be really useful to be able to play with people in other places, whether it's on other islands or whether it's on the mainland.
Yeah, and as we're in like such a remote place, it's quite nice to like connect with other people who are of different standards and play different instruments, because we're really only used to wind, because that's the only kind of lessons you can mainly get here.
It's strange because we're only one part of the entire thing.
I'm quite excited to actually see how it all works out. It's a bit scary as long as we don't mess up.
While they're playing, they're going to be playing in their school hall. They're going to have in front of them 3 enormous TV screens, and associated with those TV screens sets of speakers. And on those screens will be beamed an image of the conductor, which is going to be beamed in real time from Falmouth University. And on the other 2 screens they'll see images of the other groups of musicians coming from Mullion and through Truro Cathedral. They'll then hear the audio in real time that's coming from all of those different locations, and they will play by following the visual image of the conductor.
My name is John Hargreaves, and I'm the conductor in the online orchestra project. There'll be an array of screens in front of me with the flute players, with the brass players, and with the string orchestra and choir. I will just actually be in a kind of a little room in Falmouth University, so I mean I should be dressed up all smart, but really I'll just be in a practice room. My image will be relayed to Truro Cathedral, to Mullion School, and to Five Islands School in St Mary's.
We've made sure right from the start that we're using equipment that is available to amateur musicians. So we're not using particularly high-end computing, microphones, etc. We're using stuff that is available in order that in the future repeat performances of this project can take place. There is some latency in the system, and that's been the biggest challenge within this project, is how to actually work with that latency rather than try and get rid of it absolutely, because you can never quite get rid of it. When you learn an instrument, you're kind of hardwired to make sure you play in time with the beat and play in time with the musician. So musicians are very sensitive to latency. So our solution to that has been twofold. Is that firstly we've developed some software that helps to kind of control the latency that's in the system, so we can predict it, we can manipulate it, and we can work with it rather than against it. And then what we've done is we've commissioned some composers to come in and write musical materials especially for an online environment.
The first piece in C chord Lyonesse by John Pickard sets poems by Thomas Hardy and Walter de la Mare. Thomas Hardy's poem is about this journey he took to the sunken village of Lyonesse. It's a really gorgeous piece and beautiful music and a lovely poetic idea that actually the signals from the brass are passed out to the flutes on the Isles of Scilly, and there is actual kind of dialogue running through these super fast broadband cables, so it actually literally goes through Lyonesse.
One of the key things with this project is that we want the music to sound enjoyable to perform and enjoyable to listen to at all the different locations. So audience are invited to each of the different locations that we've got. The bulk of our audience that we're anticipating to view the project at Truro Cathedral. There's going to be 3 giant screens. There's going to be our soloists. Our conductor will be beamed in real time from Falmouth University, and the musicians from the other nodes will lock in. So it's going to be quite a kind of exciting audio and visual experience. The cathedral is going to sound and look like it's never looked before.
Of the online orchestra. The concert will be beamed into Truro Cathedral on Sunday at 7:30 in the evening. Next week on Front Row, with interviews with artist Mark Quinn and actor Jake Gyllenhaal, and a review of Go Set a Watchman, the sequel of sorts to Harperley's To Kill a Mockingbird. Until then, have a great weekend.
Front Row was presented by John Wilson and produced by Sarah Johnson. Tomorrow morning, Will Gompertz launches his new series on creativity and makes people with a passion. Advice from the artist Humphrey Ocean and Sue Tilley.